All right, welcome to the Ascend B2B Business Sales Podcast. I'm your host, James Jacoby. This is episode 2. It is Thursday, June 15th, and we got an awesome topic for you today. We are going to talk about the alignment between marketing and sales right after this. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming back. If this is your second time, if this is your first time, thanks for tuning in. Guys, this is a B2B sales podcast that addresses a lot of elephants in the room around what you're doing currently with your sales and marketing and how to grow revenue, how to retain customers, how to improve your systems and processes. How can you enable your team to do more, be better, perform better, have fun, and scale your brand. So again, your host here is James Jacoby. I'm the CEO and founder of Ascend Advisors. And we are going to come to you every single week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:15. Start marking on your calendar because we'll be here. And we want to talk to you about, things that are on your mind with these topics. And we want to bring to light some things for you to think about. Our goal always with this show is to help you with some new thoughts, some new tactics, some new strategies on what's going to help you move the needle right now in your business. So today we are talking about the alignment of your sales and marketing teams. That could be just you. If you're an owner operator of a small business and maybe some staff, if you're in a bigger company, you might have some marketing teams and sales teams underneath you. This will work either way. Because we talk to really anyone that's frankly under $100 million. If you're bigger than that, you're still going to get some great takeaways from this show. And I'd love your feedback and input. So with that, let's get into this. So I'm going to start out with some stats for you guys because I like stats. I like numbers. And one of the things that I learned early in my sales career, especially when you want to sell to the C-suite and the CFO, you can't talk numbers. You ain't going to get anywhere in that room, right? So let's talk some numbers real quick. Okay, so what would you say if I told you that there's an 87% chance of growth in your business from where it is today? Like I can tell you that there's a extreme likelihood, like almost guaranteed chance that you are going to grow your business more than you are right now if you have stronger alignment with your marketing and your sales. Would you believe me? That might sound like a very obvious answer, right? But yeah, that's the case. LinkedIn, I'm going to throw this in the thread here. This is coming to you right from LinkedIn, guys. This is from them. Check this out. Look at this stat real quick. This is from LinkedIn. LinkedIn says 80% of sales and marketing leaders say collaboration between sales and marketing enables critical business growth in your business. Shocker, right? Are you surprised by that? I'm not, right? That's like, oh, obviously, yeah. But you know what? You've heard this before. Common sense is not always that common, is it? Right? And you're not thinking about it. So we're going to remind you today of why this is important. So let's think about this, right? What are we really talking about with sales and marketing alignment? What does that mean? We're going to talk about improved collaboration between both groups. It could be one person and another person, teams and teams, or just you. We're going to talk about a unified journey. We kind of talked about that in the last podcast a little bit, but a unified customer journey of what does that look like and how do you do that between both groups. And we're going to talk about data. Oh, so sexy. We're going to talk about data, right? Data-driven decision making. Really, really important when you're trying to put together a better mousetrap with your business, sales and marketing. So, first, let's talk about improved collaboration, right? So, how does that work? And what are the things that what needs to be collaborated on, right? What are we talking about here, James? What is the alignment and collaboration between sales and marketing? Well, let's think about it. You know, if we were to think about what are the biggest pain points or biggest challenges or stucks or just frustration points in your business right now around marketing, specifically in sales, they kind of they go together. I'm going to give you a few. You tell me if I'm right, and you tell me if there's some things I'm missing. All right. If you got some, throw them in the chat, put them in the comments. Would love to hear from you. All right. So here's some common things that we see when we talk to businesses about their sales and marketing. Targeting. Who are we actually targeting or prospecting or advertising to? Whatever you want to call it, right? Who are we going after in the market that we want to have them buy our stuff, services or products? What's our targeting? Targeting is a challenge with marketing, and therefore it is with sales, because if you're going to go target leads that are wrong or not the best, does that help your sales team? Yes or no? No, it doesn't, right? So targeting is an issue. Messaging. What's the message? What's the talk track? What are we putting out there? What's the hook? What's the thing that we're saying that gets someone's attention and says, wow, I want to learn more. I'm interested. You know, what is that? Copywriting is another way to put that. What are you doing with it when in terms of what is your message right now in the marketplace? Do you have one? Is it on your website? Is your website message different than what's on your social media? Is your emails that you're putting out different than what's on your social media or website? There's got to be congruence and alignment with your messaging, right? And what is it? And how often are you changing it, testing it? Has anyone even in the market that you're talking to, your prospects, your leads, have they even told you what they think about that? That's some marketing alignment with sales, right? Because whatever we're marketing out there, we're pushing, we're promoting, we're advertising, we're saying, hey, look at us. We're bringing in therefore traffic of something, attention, that is going to be teed up for our sales team eventually. So are we helping or hurting our sales team right now with the types of messaging that you're trying to use to get attention? Number 3, if you want to write these down, take some notes. Got 5 for you. This is number 3. What is your cadence? What's your rhythm? What's your plan? In corporate B2B, a lot of times you'll hear sales cadence. What's your sales or marketing cadence? What's your marketing drip? But what is your plan? What's your calendar? Or how many times are you putting out messages, emails, posts, calls, DMs, articles, podcasts? What are you doing? How often are you doing it? And what's the plan? What's the cadence? And what is that cadence supposed to do? Right? Why is it designed the way you've designed it? I know the obvious answer probably in all of that is, well, we just want to get some more attention and some more leads. Great. We all want that, right? But just think about, what is your sales cadence? And is that hurting or helping your sales team? I don't have a stat on this for today, but I'll bring it up next time. I have some other stats I'm going to share with you. But what we have seen in 2023 that is more true than any year before this is your buyers are becoming more and more picky. They're becoming more decisive early in the sales cycle, early in the process. They are researching you, they are doing their homework, they want to figure it out and figure it out fast before they even talk to you on a sales conversation. And I'll get some stats to back that up because I know that's true. I don't have them on me right now, but I will bring those to the next podcast. But that is 100% true. And therefore, that is either helping or hurting your sales team. If you want to help your sales team with your cadence, then think about how you can educate your leads, your market early in the process of when they become aware of you so that it's answering all their frequently asked questions. It's discussing and bringing to light the problem that exists in their business, whether they realize it or not. And it's helping them learn a pathway or a solution to an outcome they really want that they're not getting right now, or they're not getting as much as they want. Like all that material, all that content, that has got to be in your cadence, and that's got to be in the marketing. It's got to be early in the process so you can educate your market on what it is that you do, how you help, why you help, what's the problem, what's the outcome, and why, most importantly, which is difficult to do, but why make a difference now? Why now? Why should I change now versus later? Why is this so important that I stop everything that I'm doing and shift gears and start paying attention to this thing? That's got to be a compelling answer. And that's a different answer for every business. So, with that, that's what we're talking about, guys, with challenges and opportunities on the marketing side that can align and really amp up your sales team to be highly successful. So improved collaboration is really, really important when it comes to working together. Here's another one for you. This is from HubSpot. I'm going to share this with you in a second. This is cool. How would you like to beat your goals by 20% right now? So let's just be some real numbers, right? Let's say on the low, give you some different businesses right now. Let's say your business does 50,000 a month on the low, right? Smaller business. How would you like to start doing right now 60,000 next month? Just a big boost, 20% boost in your revenue right away. That'd be nice. That'd be actually really great, right? 10,000 extra cash a month, cash flow. What if you're doing, 250,000 a month, right? What would 300,000 in cash coming in every month do for you? Extra 50 grand a month in cash. What would you do with that? Right? Let's go up to a million. Let's say you're doing $1 million a month. What'd you do with 200 grand a month in extra cash coming in that you don't have now? Well, that's the question I want you to ask yourself, because when you align marketing and sales to make it a more cohesive unit together, your people are working together, your systems and your processes are all strategized out. It's a cohesive effort. Look at this. According to sales and marketing alignment stats, 50% of aligned companies meet their revenue goals. That's higher than most companies, guys. Most companies, when you do business planning at the beginning of the year, most epically fail at their revenue goals. They don't even come close. This puts you at 56%, which is a more than half chance that you're going to do it. Furthermore, an additional 19% managed to beat their targets. So how do you want to beat your target, right? You can do that if you want to have more certainty in your business. Forget what the market's doing. You want to have more certainty that your business is going to grow, then double down on how you do your execution and your planning with your sales and marketing teams. This is going to dramatically help you guys grow and see some big movement in what you're doing right now. So that's one piece. Okay. That is improved collaboration. Improved collaboration is going to, let's put this up in the thread real quick, is going to really increase your chances to hitting all your goals right now by a mile. So, are you doing that? Where do you start? I know it's like, where do you start with this, James? Have a meeting. Start a meeting right now today with your team. Be like, hey, you know what? I just listened to a podcast with this guy, James, on Ascend, and he's got some good content out there. And he made me think, I think we could do some things better, guys, as a team. Let's just air it out and talk about it. Like, what's working right now in our marketing, what's not, what's working on sales right now, what's not. Sales guys, what would help you do better in your job right now to make more sales, if anything, from the marketing team? Could they give anything more for you? Could they do anything more to tee up better leads or shorten the sales cycle? Like, what are your, if you got a lot of no's, in your deals that turned you down, why did they turn you down? Marketing, what could help you be more excited about what you're doing with the sales team? What do you want from them, if anything, that would just make what you're doing more effective? Any feedback, any process handoff, like talk to each other, have a meeting, and start to whiteboard this stuff and write out what is your end-to-end process, guys, when you work together. What does it look like? If you've never done that before, so many coaches will do this with you. They'll sit down with you and bring out a whiteboard and literally, like, step by step, what is your entire marketing and sales process with the lead? Like, map the whole thing out. And once you do that, which we're going to get into next time on the podcast, next week on Tuesday, we're going to talk about CRMs and how you build and optimize a CRM to do all the things we're talking about today. So is all that process and systems in your CRM? Because you should and can and should and must automate and build processes out with a lot of this stuff, because the technology is there. It's going to scale your productivity. So we got to talk about that too. Which is kind of get into the next thing. So unifying your customer journey, right? What's the benefit of an aligned marketing and sales team? It's going to align your customer journey. It's going to unify it. It's going to really help you from the moment that this lead sees you to the moment that they close a deal with you. This whole thing's got to be mapped out. And we got to have meetings every week with marketing and sales, and we got to talk about what's going on. How did it go? How did we execute? Like we said on the last podcast, what are we measuring? Like, how do we even know that we're doing good? Well, you gotta decide what's important to you. What are you going to measure to tell you if it's working or not, or if I'm doing a good job, or if I need to do a better job than what I'm doing right now? How do I know? How do I know what's successful? KPIs, key performance indicators. That's what those are. So if I'm in marketing, what's my KPIs? Is it X amount of marketing qualified leads that I generate every week or day or month? Or is it how many campaigns do I put out there with X amount of leads in them? And, my job is to make sure that we get enough top of funnel lead flow to come down the funnel and see if it generates any leads for us. Like, what are your numbers on that? If you don't have any, let's start now, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do and where you're at with any of this stuff, guessing isn't going to serve you well now, 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or any time in the future. If you're in the same place on this topic and you watch this 6 months from now and you didn't implement anything I just said, come on, right? Like, we do not want to guess on business. We don't want to guess on how we execute marketing and sales. We can guess on strategy and educated decisions and input and testing out new messaging, testing out new copy, testing out new offers, testing out different audiences. You should test that a lot, because You always want to figure out what's the thing that makes us better. How do we make this more effective? How do we tweak this and that? You got to test all the time. But that also means if you test, you got to measure it too. And you got to track it and you got to see like how is that better or worse than what you did before a month ago, 2 months ago. Make sure when you decide on whatever it is that you're measuring, please do this. Don't change your plan for a quarter. Like, give yourself a quarter, 3 months of runway to measure and execute whatever plan you put in place with your marketing and sales teams. You got to give it time. I know you're impatient. We all are. We want results yesterday. Yeah, all of us do. You know, no matter what problems you have in your team right now, if they're really, really bad and it's just a freaking dumpster fire, or if there's just a few things that just need tweaking that are like, oh, we know we need to do this. It's so important, but we're so busy. We're so busy. We'll get to it next time. We'll get to it next month. We'll get to it to the month after that. And you just keep kicking the can down the road. Kicking the can down the road ain't going to help your business, folks. You got to do it now. It's that important. Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? Most of us have heard or read that book. The quadrants, urgent and important, not urgent and important. I would put sales and marketing at least in the not urgent and important category. It is critical you guys spend time on this in your business all the time. And just take it a piece by piece. Listen, you are not going to build a Ferrari tomorrow with the parts that you have in the shop today. You know, it just, you're not skilled enough yet to go from 0 to 100 in whatever it is that you want to do in your business. It's not going to work like that. And if you try, it's going to be rough. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be highly stressful. It's going to be frustrating. One of the things I talk about with my team all the time right now is like, listen, we don't need to go 100 miles an hour every day in our business. Like, you're going to get burned out. You're going to get frustrated. We're going to get sloppy. We're going to make mistakes that we didn't need to make. So operate at a controlled pace, right? Operate 65, 70% speed and watch what happens when you're under control and you're relaxed and you're, God forbid, you're having some fun in your business and we're dealing with these important issues. Just chunk it out a little bit. We just move the ball a little bit every day. You're going to be way better at this stuff and you're going to have massively different results in reporting and numbers and things to talk about in 30 days from now if you just start today on having a conversation with your team, figuring out what are the most important things we got to address right now that are holding us back from better sales and better lead generation and better brand awareness with our marketing and how we work together. What is all that? Get it out, talk about it. And that really gets us then to the final point on today's podcast, which is got to have data, man. You got to have the data. Got to have data. Data-driven decision-making. So this is it. Like, how are you tracking stuff? Excel spreadsheets, CRM, I don't care. It's better to track on something than not track at all. You got to track every day what's going on in your business that's important to you, because accountable companies, accountable teams, that culture is going to grow your business. And that starts with the top. Let's start with you leaders out there watching this. You got to start with, what are you holding your people accountable to consistently? What are you measuring daily? And what are you training on? Like, if you haven't trained your team since they started hiring or since they got hired and worked with you, it's been months, or you do a little bit, maybe once in a while, man, training is another piece of this answer, guys. It's not just pointing things out in our room, be like, okay, we need to fix this, this, and this. Hey, Joe, Sally, go fix it. If they're talented and capable, then great. But we as leaders also have to inspect often what we expect, right? So, you know, what whatever you guys decide on is action plans from this to align your sales and marketing teams to do better together, grow your business. You got to have a who, what, when. What's the action plan for implementing and measuring progress with whatever it is that you're going to do, and who's going to do it? What specifically are they going to do? When are they going to do it by? And how are you going to hold them accountable to getting it done and getting it reported back to you and the team? That's got to be some kind of weekly meeting rhythm that you got to do with your team. You got to start doing this every week, even if you don't even know what the heck you're doing, which happens a lot, by the way. If you feel like that, please know that you're not alone. Please know that most businesses operate like they're flying the airplane and they're building it at the same time. You are not alone in this, but have some courage, take a deep breath, and let's invite our team to win together and to build out processes and systems and more, even on top of that, like that, because all that really, what that is, guys, that's your secret sauce, man. That your secret sauce and how you operate together. I mean, that could be a huge competitive advantage for you versus your competitors. Even if your competitors do the same thing as you, how you operate internally, what your culture is, can be a massive competitive advantage, because if people stay with you, I'll leave this stat up here for you as we close this out today. Where did this thing go? Here we go. Part of a stat that you didn't see yet. Watch this. So if you do this and you focus on this, guess what also happens? Businesses with aligned sales and marketing teams experience a 36% higher customer retention. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why. Because what you're marketing and putting out there and saying you can do, what you can promise and deliver what you say you're going to do or solve, and then your salespeople close the deal on that, the better aligned you are in your marketing, your systems, your how, your testimonials, your case studies, and then they go experience that once they sign the deal with you and execute what you do, or have the product experience that you promised. When you guys are tight on your marketing and the experience that these people are going to have when they work with you, and then it happens, you will retain 36% more of your customers. That's huge. Huge. Do you know how hard it is to get new business versus keep the business that you got? Way harder. I'll have a stat on that next time. It's huge. Like the money and time and energy you got to spend to get new business versus keeping the business you got is astronomically different. So again, sales and marketing doesn't just mean new business, guys. Sales and marketing also affects the clients you have right now. And what's the client experience, right? Ask yourselves that, like the experience you promote, how are you executing on that experience with the client you got? And how can marketing internally with your client base, how can we kind of shift attention, still have that marketing hat on, but how can we shift into the client experience of our marketing, right? And keep that tight. Because if you want to grow, you got to keep a stable base of customers too, right? You got to keep what you got and get more to grow. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this topic today. We went deep into the alignment of sales and marketing. And we'll play way more into this. We'll keep going deeper on this stuff. I got a lot to talk about on these topics. We didn't even really get into some other things that I wanted to, but that's okay. We'll because we need more time for it. But we'll talk about account-based strategies on future podcasts with marketing and sales, where you have a list of target accounts that you want to go sell to and get business from. That's a huge topic, especially if you're selling into bigger companies, which many of my clients and we do too, and people that I know. So if that's you, don't worry, we'll cover that soon. But message us on social media. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Hit us up on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you saw us today. Let us know what you thought of the show. If you have any questions, let us know. And we hope this was helpful for you. So come back to us next Tuesday. We'll be here 12:15. Till then, go ascend.